Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the Political Brown Kid here, and I'm going to do another Hollywood in black and white. This one's going to be a little bit different, though. I just got finished watching. I'm a big Netflix fan of the show Squid Game. So they came out with this. So if people who don't know Squid Game is basically it's a Netflix original show. It's very good, at least in my personal opinion, and originally it was a fictional show about an individual, and it's Korean based. I do believe it's Korean based. If I'm off on that, please forgive me, but I know it's over in the Asian continent. Um, but it's based over there. It's original show to there, and it was basically about a fictional show of an individual who gets invited to this secret location to participate with like 500 other people in this game, and you basically play various children's games. So it's most of these they're all adults, 500 people, and they first start off by playing red light, green light. The twist comes in, spoiler alert, but the game is more violent. It's not just there's consequences to losing these games. You're playing, you know, marbles, you're playing all of these various different games. And it's coming down to whoever's going to win this big prize. So the first season of Squid Game is over, the fictionalized television show. So now they come out with a Squid Game reality show where they've invited real people to. It looks like they're on the real actual set of the fictionalized Squid Game show, and those real people are playing in the challenges. Now, of course, there's no, and once again, spoiler alert here, there's no dire consequences. This is not; these aren't snuff films, but they're basically, the people are just eliminated from the game. Um, the problem that I have with this, and the reason why I'm doing this one, is this. Here's where the feminism has just kind of just gone rampant in this world. So, of course, the contestants are men and women. So once about midway through, I think about midway through, they show it was this one female. It's a black female, and she's a lesbian. She was married. She's married to another woman. So they show her in her confessional, and she's like, I'm just looking around the room, and there's all these men. And it just makes me sick. I'm paraphrasing. And it just disgusts me that this male dominated society, and now we have this male dominated game. And I'm just like, well, where's she getting this from? I see just as many women here as men. Now, of course, the numbers, but once again, everybody wants things to always be equal until they don't want things to be equal. And in the dating world, they don't want it to be 50-50. They want the man to do 100% everything, they do nothing. But when it comes time to winning money and winning prizes, now everything has to be equal. So again, maybe the numbers at this point in time in the game, it may have been, let's just say 98 females and 112 men. I don't know. But I'm just making this number up. But of course, everything isn't going to be a total balance, but there was more representation for women there in that game. So she makes this comment. And so that way she takes it upon herself to say, when I get an opportunity, I'm going to select a man and start eliminating men because, this is a male dominated society. I do believe the female's name was Felicia. That was the one, by Felicia. So she was the one that made this comment. So then, fast forward, people are starting to get eliminated. They're dwindling down. They've gone from 500 now to about 300, or now they're at 200. So now you know that trust me, the white women are going to take it up a notch. The white women always take feminism up a notch to a level that it does not need to go to. So of course you have this Aryan. She's in there. She's the reason why I'm calling her Aryan, because she has blonde hair. And when I say blonde, it is platinum blonde hair, and she has blue eyes, and she's from the UK. And so she gathers all the women together, and they make this pact to say, we're not going to eliminate any women. We're all going to stick together, and we're going to pick off all of the men. Mind you, the men are just out there. They're not even thinking about picking off women. They're not thinking about aligning with women because you have to understand in this game, let me just back this up a little bit too. It's kind of like Survivor. There were multiple cliques. So you had the people from the UK in a clique, and that consists of men and women. You had the black people, they were in a clique, it seemed, with a few sprinkled white people in. You had other people and other people were just clicked off altogether. When you have five, people are going to naturally break into subcultures and subgroups. But then within that group, that one Aryan called all of the women together and said, we're going to make a pact to not vote another woman off. We're going to take the women to the end. And I just found that to me, it was troubling. I had a problem with that. And so then when they get to this one game, and I'm not going to give you the results of the game, but in Squid Game, in the television show, they played this game where you had to jump, you had to choose, kind of like working through a maze. You had to take a path to get from point A to point B. And so you had to get to that path by stepping on it's glass. And you had to figure out which glass to step on. If you step on the wrong glass, it breaks and you basically fall through the glass and you're eliminated from the game. So, and then you're all going in sequence. So if it's like 20 of you, the person in the front has to figure it out. And if they get eliminated, then the next man up. And so it's kind of like if you're in the front, you're doomed because you have to basically make 50-50 guesses correctly all the way through. So in this game, they actually played this game on the challenge. And I want people to go check this out. This was probably like episode 6 or 7 when they did this challenge. So there was a guy, he was in the front. He was nominated to be in the front. There was several guys that were in the front. And so mind you, once again, the guys are trying to play the game, trying to be protectors, and they're like, okay, we're going to go and take the front, or the women are nominating them to go to the front. The guys aren't pushing back. They're like, okay, I'm going to go into this game. And that's kind of making me mad because it's like, here are the women out to get y'all. And y'all are still trying to play this game fairly by being honorable and protective of other people. And so they have the men in the front. The men are just dying off, or I shouldn't say dying off, but, they're getting eliminated, out of the game. And so then you're stuck with this one guy. It was a white guy. He was in the front, so he's now he's now the leader. And then it was a black female behind him, and her name was Ashley. So they had all made a pact coming into this particular game to say, okay, well, since this game is a game of chance, if the person in front goes and guesses correctly and chooses the correct path for everyone else, then the next person behind that person should go first. Let's take turns alternating going first. So this guy, he goes, he makes one correct decision, he makes 2 correct decisions. And so you can look at his face, he's ticked off because he's looking back at Ashley and she's just kind of like, I'm not, and she's like, nope, I'm not alternating positions with you. You continue to go first. And he's obviously, you can look at his face and tell he's visibly upset by this. And so, because the agreement was, alternate. You come into the front and then I go back into the front and we alternate. She would not do that. And he wound up, getting eliminated. Spoiler alert. So, and she wound up surviving the game. So I'm saying all that to say this, is that in this honorable, the men were trying to play the game honorably and the women ultimately had this pact, like men are just, we're dominating society and we just get everything handed to us. But I'm just kind of confused because I'm not going to give you the rest of the games because ultimately you're going to find out by episode 9 what happens and what happens with this woman's pact, whatever. You'll find out. I've recommended that you watch the show. But I'm saying all that to say this, is that women, they selectively choose when they're victims. In one hand, they're boss women, they're boss chicks, they're CEOs. They can do everything. They claim they make more than men. Definitely black women claim they make way more than black men. I don't know what stats prove that. When you look at all of the other statistics, when you go to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, when you go to I forget the Census Bureau, and they do the BLS. You can go check out all these statistics, but they always claim they make more than us, they're better than us, they're boss chicks, they're this, they that, they rule. And if you can do it all, then when it comes time to lead and take a chance in a game like this with $4.5 million on the line, then all of a sudden they're victims. The men are dominating the world. The men are holding them back. And it was a game of pure chance. It was a game of some of these are pure chances. Some of this stuff takes educated guesses, but they don't want to take. They don't want to put their life on the line when it comes to that amount of money being put on the line. But you see the men putting themselves out there, but the women don't do that. So once again, it's selective choices of what you're a victim of. When it comes time to benefit you, you're a victim. But then when you're just out here in the real world, you're a boss and you just do everything on your own, and men are just holding this world back. I really honestly don't get this type of behavior and this type of thinking. I don't know why that women hate men so much. I'm really trying to figure this out. But if anybody watches the show, definitely, and if you have any comments on what I'm saying, if you saw this and if you've been analyzing the show, especially from that perspective, let me know. Drop some comments in the comment section. Definitely hit the like and subscribe button. Once again, this is the Political Brown Kid. I'm out of here.